quick turn on for camera, which in other words, if you press the power on twice, your camera will activate. And I actually do have that on. So if you push the power button, which you're gonna see me do it twice, it automatically opens the camera. So like I said, basically all these gestures and options allow you to do is to allow you to open up apps and certain things that you like to use quickly. So let's go ahead and continue on going down through the other options. So you got battery set, which for the most part, you're going to see your phone is pretty much optimized as far as battery. So there's not really much here. Now, what you would kind of see here that will be interesting is it'll let you know if you have a device that's pretty much just burning through battery life, and you can go ahead and pretty much kill that app right there. And like I say, it's rare that I see one. Every now and then I'll notice SoundCloud will pop up there, and if that happens, like I say, I'll go ahead and it'll alert me to that, and I'll go ahead and kill it. You go ahead and see storage, how much storage space you have left. You got your security and lock, which I went through that. Utilities, such as game. But let's go ahead and go through that. So gaming mode. Now, if you're someone who like playing some games on your phone, and you know, especially if you're just, hey, you know, like for example, I got Street Fighter 4 on there. And every now and then you just want to, you know, just pop the game on, just get into it. You can change the way your phone reacts when you're playing games. And you can, you know, have where it boosts the network so you can have faster network coming through there to make sure you have less lag through game. Disable auto brightness. In other words, and make sure your brightness don't go up and down when you're playing a game. You'll keep your brightness where it's at. You can change the notification of apps, which pretty much as I do. Pretty much at the time when I'm playing games, I pretty much will block all notifications. That way notification won't be getting in the way when I'm playing games. And you have the ability to change where you can answer all calls through speakerphone if you choose. And as far as with game, you can actually go, if you say you want to add a certain app, just hit add, and it'll pull up all your apps in your app drawer. And you can decide which games you want to be part of that gaming mode setup. Like I say, that's what I have there. I got a quick launch. So what quick launch allows you to do, and I actually have it off, but quick launch allows you to pretty much that long press on the fingerprint button, and it opens up an app real quick. So let me show you that real quick if that's something you want. So if you go ahead and turn that on, you can have a certain setup where you have certain apps you want to add there. So let's go ahead and set that up. So for those of you who may want to do that, you may see how to do that. So let's go ahead to shortcut settings, and you can choose certain apps. So let's go ahead shortcuts. You can choose which apps and shortcuts you pretty much want on there. You can actually put phones, not just your email, but you put everything. Like, you know, if you want to have it automatic open up a new message for Gmail, if you wanted to call a certain person, all of that stuff is pretty much available through that. And the way it works is, go ahead and power this off. So you see I got my fingerprint sensor right here. Hold it, and once it unlocks, you'll have the option to go through each one of your quick app settings. Now, personally, I actually leave that off, and the reason why, because sometimes I hold the power button, you know, a little bit around the power button, but hold on to the gestures a little bit. The fingerprint sensor, fingerprint sensor a little bit longer than I want to, and it'll pop that up. So personally, I like to keep that off, but if you're someone who wants it on, that will be how you would turn it on. Let's go ahead and go on to something else. App locker. Now, what app locker does, it allows you to, if you have certain apps you want to lock, let's say for example you got photos, work photos or work email, something like that of a sensitive matter, you can actually put that, and I'm gonna go ahead and open it so you can see, which I have nothing in there right now. But let's say if I want to add, for example, one thing, if I was to add something to there, let's say, for example, I like to keep up with a, where is it at? Mobily. It's like a prayer journal or something like that. So let's say I want to add that to there, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. So add that app, and pretty much that app is now added. And let's see, notification control will be hidden. Now you can also make it where if you got apps set up in your app locker, you won't get any notifications for that. That way, you know, no one can see your notifications. So that's added now. So now, when I go to that app, it requires a PIN. So again, if you have certain apps that you kind of want protected, something like that, that will be what that feature is for. So let's go ahead and continue on going through other things within your phone. So we did app locker, schedule power on and off. Now, I really don't see any need for this anymore. This was mainly set up for, I would say, Android back in the day, where you needed to power your phone off and on to pretty much reboot it. But if you're someone who actually want to have your phone turn off at a certain time and turn back on, this pretty much allows that. So let's say set time to power on, set time to power off. So let's go ahead, for example, I'm gonna set it for 12:28. That way you can see. Whoop, start it again. I actually better make it 12:29 or 12:30. 12:30 was set it on there. What happened? It will power off at that time. So, and then we'll set it to power back on at, let's go ahead and say 12:31. 1. So you get an idea to see that happen. What happened? So while that's going through that, that's set up, and you'll probably see my phone power off in the middle of my setup. So let's see, pocket mode, OnePlus Lavatory. This pretty much is something that most people are not going to be needing to use. It's mainly for developers. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that as well. We're done with utilities. Google's services and preferences is pretty much, service and preferences, personal. Pretty much is your personal information that you can go through there and change when Google pull up all your information. So that's mainly, let's say, for example, you have a Google profile. You can go in there, and let's go back in there, and you can look at pretty much everything that's your connected device, your data management, all that stuff that's pretty much connected to your Google profile. Systems, languages, time. Like I said, I'm gonna try to help you get through this before my phone powers off by itself. From here, accessibility. This will allow you to change, and like for most people, you're probably not going to use this, but it allows certain apps to have the ability for, which matter of fact, I can actually install the app lock, but allows certain apps to have certain accessibility that they may need from your phone. And you'll see some apps that may use that, such as TalkBack and something like that. Now, for most people, the main thing, if you're going to use anything, will be the font size. And this will be where, if you want to have a bigger font size so that you can see your phone a little bit better. Now, see, it's about to power off. And this is pretty much what that is. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. So that's pretty much what it does. It power your phone off and power back on. So, yeah, as far as your display size, you can change that if you want to have it bigger, larger. And this is, like, again, for those of you who feel like, hey, man, this phone is a nice size, but I would like to have it a little bit bigger for, my eyes overall. That's how you would change that. You can also use, a magnification. You can turn it on. And what I would do is, let's say if we turn it on, when you triple tap something, it will actually make that area of the screen bigger. So, make it easier for you to see. You have also a color correction. You can go ahead and change that there. Color inversion, a large mouse pointer if you need that, and if you want to remove animation, you can have that removed. Let's see, interaction control, auto rotate your screen. That's where you have that. Touch and hold delay, and I think this right here, this would use for, like, if you have a grandmother or someone who just new to smartphones. They're they haven't been used to touching and holding like for 2 seconds, whatever. They're just kind of new to that. You can change that delay to make it a little bit longer. So, while they're kind of learning that, if they're kind of a little bit slow to push off or push and hold something, for example, when they long press, a lot of times they may, accidentally be long pressing on a setting, not wanting to. You can actually change that so that, they won't accidentally open up settings that they don't need to. So that's what that is for. Let's go ahead and continue on. Let's see, you got language and input, This is for if you want to change your language. You can change what keyboard you want. If you decide to install a custom keyboard, that's what that is for. Let's see, backup, reset options. This is where you would go if you need to do a factory reset. Let's say, and I actually had this, you buy a phone, whether it be because